We got ourselves first group with Chill Pills back on the Frosty Death Knight with Maryland. Ready to go on the Paladin Peekaboo. Kinda liking this, the wolf hat, but also like tattooed mod going on. With Ultima gonna be first out versus Beastly, trying to see if he can lock him down last week. Beastly was playing Affliction this time, back to the Affliction, trying to see if he can just rod down the rogue, hoping to force out a Cloak of Shadows. Beastly with a trinket, there goes the cloak. If Beastly can go and set up dots back up on the rogue, he'll be fine. Banking a random shot of hero, actually almost hit the rogue too. Ultima going back in with cheap shot, another Garou. Darkler is still in play, gonna be a port for Beastly as he is pulling the Succubus back a little bit. Needs to make sure the Succubus is there to help peel the rogue off of him. Big Deathmark is up, wall is on for Beastly. Needs to use everything he can to survive the bleeds. The dots are rotting him down, and if Ultima can just get Beastly low enough, he will be able to lock him down. Yet another Garou is going to be huge pressure. Big heal for Beastly though as he goes in for the Warlock Soulstone. Oh, Hellstone with a Sacrifice Soul, blind onto Beastly, full dots, and Ultima still taking damage. I think Ultima might be in a lot of trouble here. I don't even know if he can catch a proper reset with the eye constantly plinking at him from around the wall. As Ultima is still melting a little bit, a little Dark Pack does let Beastly live just a little longer. Big heal available for Ultima, borrowing a lot of health right now, but still not in a great spot. Trying to go for a step, maybe a kick, does not connect with the Beastly, trying to see if he can just end them right now. Just needs a couple more dots with the Fear. Full set of dots. We're going to be reset for Ultima. Not much you can do. Cheap shot Garou, but I think it's just over. The Rogue's fate has been predestined as Beastly does end up melting him down. Both classes with melting potential. Damage over time. Chillpill's charging out. Not gonna give Beastly any kind of opportunity to reset. I saw both like I think it was the Warrior and the DK run in. But Chillpill's is gonna end up taking him out with a couple of blitz, not burning any of his big offensive power. But he's trying to see if he can maybe get himself potentially a setup. With Corian going to be up next, another Assassination Rogue. I love the fact that we've seen more Assassination Rogues, by the way. 2 Assass for that team, or Assass for either team, and only 1 Subtlety. Chillpill's just crushing Corian though with them obliterates. Trying to see if he can take him down. Cloak of Shadows for the Rogue. Summon up the goal for just a second, sacrificing a blind onto the Rogue, which is perfect. He knows exactly where the Rogue is at. The Rogue does not get himself a reset whatsoever. Has himself a Shadow Meld. That's not going to help you, son. From the Remorseless Winter, with Chillpill's continue just to trunk damage into Corian. Big Oblit does probably the cheat death. Second stun right after. Corian looking for a sip pickup. Looking for a reset. Blind as he's walking over Death and Decay. Not out of the woods just yet. Taking a little bit of dot damage from the Frost Fever, but it's not really going to do nearly as much damage compared to taking damage from Unholy Death Knight with their dodge. Chillpill's is going to be able to blink around, chasing the Rogue. Does end up sniping him out. Gripping in Chicago for a quick death streak or 2. Chicago not attacking. Wants Chillpill's to recover health if possible. We are only 3 minutes into the duel. Dampening hasn't been kicked up. And it looks like Chillpill's is going to have to fight tooth and nail here. Has every defensive by the looks of it to fight Chicago. Goes in for a silent stun right after. Drinking for Chicago as he's just getting obliterated by these big smacks from the Death Knight. AMS back up. Still taking a lot of physical damage, but the magic damage isn't going to go through. The Elemental Blast does nothing into a blind onto Chicago. Chillpill's still looking for big recovery. No AMS for a little bit. Has himself a death back in case he needs to. Is he going to be able to take down Chicago? Try to see if he can play through it. No way out of this one. Made Lasso, I think, might just end it right now. Hold on a second. Does go for a little bit extra health last second with Chicago. Hoping to break out of this one, but still it's a death that chased it after he goes in for more Blitz, taking him out with Scotty Yachty. I don't think it's going to give Chillpill's any opportunity to recover whatsoever. Chasing after him immediately is going to be able to break himself out of the the icy veins. The icy chains is what I'm trying to say. Stun on Scotty, actually mad damage on the Death Knight. That's not even big procs, not even big damage out of him. That's not even cooldowns. Just trying to see if he can back up out of there. I guess that was just procs, that or just the chill streak. Doing enough damage, building up pressure, and Scotty is just getting melted. If you can combine that together, the chill streak, together with the icy veins and everything else, I actually think that might be very terrifying. Goes for big damage. Scotty needs to bubble right now unless he just goes down. Does end up crushing him. Oh my goodness. The Death Knight. Frost looks like it's potentially back. Blood Dagger does end up sniping him out as the DK is drained off of every defensive. Nothing he could do, but the offensive pressure for this man is actually insane. Peekaboo gonna be up next, trying to see if he can take down Blood Dagger. Quick blind as Blood is able to escape for a moment. Does Pika have a way to potentially leap back over? You know what? I'm gonna call him Peekaboo. I'm not gonna call him Pika just because his name is just incidentally ends up being a very recognizable name in the rogue community. So I'm just gonna do the entire thing instead. I'm just gonna say the entire thing of Peekaboo. Blood Dagger with a quick shockwave. Is this going to be enough though here versus the Rogue? The Rogue has actually got evasion, so Peekaboo is just going to go for an entire reset with a fear. Does allow the Rogue to catch a re-stealth. Does not go for a Kindred Shot immediately. That flagellation should tell you it's going to be a lot of damage next. Does go for a defensive. Blood Dagger trying to see if he can build up pressure. And with every eviscerate, that flagellation builds up his mastery, but also does extra shadow damage to Peekaboo. Does leap right on top of the Rogue, which is so perfect. Still himself a bit of a defensive. Disarming the Rogue for a second, but a disarm back up for the Warrior as well. As the Rogue tried to see if he can find himself a better angle, versus Peekaboo needs another Kindred Shot as soon as possible. Does Peekaboo have a Stormbolt of his own? Needs a heal right now. Man is a lot of trouble. I think it might just go down right now. Blood Dagger is able to carve him out little by little with either Merlin or potentially Varka. I think we'll try to figure out who's going to be going next. I think maybe not Varka. Looks like Merlin is going to be up next. Blood is going to have to use everything in his repertoire to fight through two paladins. That's a lot of bops and that's a lot of bubbles for him to deal with. We are only 6 minutes into the duel too, with about 29% dampening, so not too bad yet. Not bad at all. ST Chill Streak? It's just Chill Streak doing that damage chills? That is so good. That ability, man, they really buffed it up this week, didn't they? 10% for that ability alone. Buffs for like the talents that upgrade the ability. Buffs for way Chill Streak works with the tier set too, with the 4 set. They really wanted you to run it, and that's a single target. In an arena, usually you would have Chill Streak balance between multiple targets, but in a duel you just have a single target and it's just enough to melt them down. Merlin taking a lot of damage, blessing a saint, flagellation on him while he's got a shield of vengeance. Might be looking no more bubble actually. Hold on, does he get a bop? Blind by the Rogue, looking for an escape. If Merlin actually might have himself a decent situation. He is playing into Crusade though. Lay on hands is what he uses to get himself fully set up though, but it's not doing nearly as much healing as it needs to. At 34% dampening, it's already starting to wane. Blood got himself full reset onto the Paladin. Still scary wings are rolling in. Will Merlin be able to get himself any value from this? No, he does summon up extra additional shadow clones to snipe out the Paladin before he has had his full run. Varka is going to be up next. Is going to get gouged. I was thinking you were trying to go for a sap, but I guess couldn't really get himself a proper reset. Still got himself Shadow Blades at the moment. Could have a go. Does get himself a re-stealth. Not gonna play around the Shadow Blades, however. Has himself one vantage back up. I don't know what his situation is right now on evasion. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Has cheat death, although as we've seen before in 5v5 1v1 Duels, cheat death is not always reliable. Varka picking up the eye and trying to see if he could go over around the familiar corners around the Warlock Gate. Does not see the Rogue, doesn't realize Blood Dagger is on the far side. Unless, if he has enough movement speed, does he see the Rogue? I don't think he does at that point. I think the eyes were gone by then. Blood does get himself a proper sap. Gonna be a proper open. A Kindred Shot immediately. Wall off of Varka. You are in a higher dampening, so you cannot rely on your healing anymore. As Varka using a flash of light, he could tell just how weak the flash of light is. The light is fading from this arena little by little, and it's going to be only better as the rogues are doing well in that full entire darkness. It's going to be vanished out of Blood Dagger as Varka does go for Shield of Vengeance, does also pop wings. This is normal wings, not Crusade wings, so he still will have himself another chance to potentially use those against Blood Dagger as well. Might be all right in the long term. Picking up the eye with AJ becoming a member yet again for 66 months. My man, how you doing? What's up, Deutsch? How you doing, my guy? My goodness, all you boys are coming out of the woodworks today, huh? That's like AJ, boys. Appreciate you. Big wake of ashes for Varka. Cloak for Blood Dagger is going to force a bubble out of the Paladin. Shadow Meld does end up AoEing him out. I don't really know if he really needed to press AoE while he was the one catching the re-stealth. Varka is not in a great spot. Maybe we'll be able to use a Blessing Protection here if Blood Dagger lets his duel run long enough. But Varka, I don't know what you would right now, what your situation is with your cooldowns. He needs wings. He needs a full set go. Blood Dagger does have a trinket, I believe. It's hard to tell. Wall is going to keep him alive here. Blood looking for a reset. Hand of Freedom for Varka. If he's got Pony, he will be able to catch up to the Rogue. He just needs that angle right now. He needs something. He needs an AoE. He has a Wake of Ashes. He could try to see if he can hit out through the wall. And I think actually he had Hand of Freedom rolling. Blood Dagger might have gotten the auto attack on him through the wall as Hand of Freedom faded. And the pony was just not the fastest pony ever. Shield of Vengeance popped immediately. Varka, main unit immunity here. Does he have a bot? Final second, last second does get a bump. Blood Dagger looking for an escape. Does Varka maybe bring it back? He does have wings. He won't have a stun for the Blood Dagger. He did Trinket. Hold on a second. Varka didn't even stand a chance here. Blood could just turn around real quickly. He needs something, anything right now. I think the rogue may just have it. Just got some secret technique. Does go for the eviscerate. Nothing he could do at the end there. I was thinking for a second, like, he needs a stomp, but just ran into a situation where there was nothing he could do. Chill Pills does walk in with a crushing 1v4, but Blood Dagger does bring it back for his team, leaving them victorious. I love seeing that Frosty DK, dude. We gotta see more of that tonight. Let's get another one going, boys, yeah?